All right.
Okay, but like, she said there's no corrections. I literally can't. Like, there's no way I'm passing this class. Yes.
She said what?
There might not be
Okay,
corrections.
but then Miss Newman's like, if you really need it, like,
She'll
figure out
give you
something.
credit.
I barely passed on. I got like I think I barely got like a 71.
We'll get
And I
started.
used 4 retakes. I'm so bad at algebra.
Even with 3 is the max, she'll let you get more.
I had Kelly last year. She didn't teach us anything. Yeah,
Oh yeah, Michigan is throwing shade at her last time. She's like,
Yeah. I was in a teacher conference and she was like, oh yeah, specific algebra teacher that's not here anymore. Really failed a lot of kids.
Who was it?
Miss Kelly.
I don't know who she is.
Good. I had to work with her for such a like
Miss Kelly.
I had to basically for the kids.
I didn't even know
so
she
bad.
was a teacher.
Oh,
I
hey,
just wanted
push.
everybody to complain.
yes.
In the government. Yeah. All right. Well, guess I'll get started then. All right. So really, this whole unit is about Enlightenment-inspired revolutions and the Industrial Revolution. So kind of being familiar with causes of the Age of Revolutions, that's going to be important. Remember, middle class, things like nationalism, the Enlightenment, obviously. Kind of we see that these revolutions are led by what class of people? What social class of people?
White middle class.
Yes, white middle class people. So generally kind of led by the middle class, Enlightenment, nationalism. All right. And then results, kind of that relates actually to some ideas like what you need to know in terms of vocab terms. You need to know what popular sovereignty means. Anybody remember what that means, real quick? Popular sovereignty?
No.
Popular sovereignty is the idea of a people choosing their government, basically. So elections, representatives, that sort of thing. Republics.
Democracy.
Yeah, like democracy. It's just a fancier term for democracy. Well, the AP will pop it up as popular sovereignty. Pop it up. I don't know what that means. But yeah, popular sovereignty. You need to know what nationalism is. Anybody scared about what nationalism is?
It's where a group of people unite due to common characteristics.
Yeah, sorry, there's some common characteristics, some common shared history. We should make a nation based on that. All right, natural rights. I feel like I've beaten this to death. Yeah, you know what natural rights are. Life, liberty, property. All right. Mechanization, that's more industrial revolution. That's, machines being used for manufacturing. Cult of domesticity. Anybody remember? Anybody questions about that? Women stay in house. Yeah. Socialism. Questions? It describes kind of government ownership of factories, of the means of production, basically. So kind of stronger government presence in the economy, that's socialism. Social Darwinism, we experience that today in our wonderful survival of the fittest. Yeah, exactly. Literally, if you see the sentence, survival of the fittest, the answer is probably social Darwinism. All right. You know the Enlightenment caused things. All right. So kind of after these revolutions, mostly we see that it's limited to a small minority of the population. It's white people, it's property owners, it's men. All right. Private property. Kind of you do need to know some similarities between the different revolutions. For example, you need to know between the French and the American Revolution. One of the biggest similarities between the two is hatred of monarchies. So no monarchies after both of these revolutions. All right. The U.S. Sorry, what?
French and American or French and Latin American?
Well, actually, all three of them. Yes. All right. Why the United States is going to industrialize? Anybody remember? There are 3 kind of big reasons why they're going to industrialize. Yeah.
Open land, diverse resources, and political stability.
Yeah, and then there's one additional thing. So in addition to land, in addition to resources, political stability, who's going to be the factory workers? Yeah. Immigrants, yeah. So large amount of immigrants. No slaves work in factories, in case that pops up.
But when slavery didn't get abolished until like later.
Yeah, but we don't really see slaves in factories. We see them on plantations still. So kind of that's a cause, that's a reason why slavery will persist in some areas. Where is that actually on here?
Right.
Right there.
Where?
Right there. Yeah,
Here,
right.
yes. So kind of slavery keeps going because of the reliance on cash crop production, not because of factories. All right. You need to know kind of similarities between the French and Haitian Revolution in terms of causes. Obvious one, the Enlightenment. But also uneven social hierarchies as well. In the Haitian Revolution, what's the uneven social hierarchy there? What? Related to that. Largely affects people of African descent in the colonies.
Creole?
An institution that affects people of African descent in the colonies. Where you work and don't get paid anything. Slavery. Yes, slavery. At least you're thinking. All right. Slavery in the Haitian Revolution. In the French Revolution, anybody remember that three-class system that existed? Those three groups of people. The three states. The three estates. Yes.
This is like the priest, then the monarchy, then like everyone else.
Basically, it's the priest, nobility, then everybody else. Yeah, exactly. All right, why is the Haitian Revolution important? There's kind of a few reasons. I can think of one really big one.
They're the first to. No, go ahead.
No, it's like the first non-white independence.
Exactly. That's why the Haitian Revolution is compared to African and Asian independence movements. It's because it's the first non-white independence movement. All right. Nationalism. You know what that is. You need to know the results of the revolutions of 1848. There are kind of three. Anybody remember three results of revolutions of 1848? Yeah.
Abolishment of monarchy.
So, kind of the end of a specific type of monarchy. Absolutism. So the end of absolutism. What else?
Industrialization.
Rise of the middle class. I'll give you that one. Yeah. All right. Anything else? No. So it kind of relates to something we learned about today. We talked about how there were these bad conditions because of the Industrial Revolution. Yes. Socialism, yes. Socialists never take power in European countries until later in history, until the 20th century. I need to change this question, actually. All right, so actually, no, it's fine how it is. So, no absolutist monarchies, new ideas like socialism and nationalism also rises too. All right, anybody remember the name of that document by Simón Bolívar, that very important document? Yeah. Yeah, and in that letter, what is he primarily complaining about or wanting to advocate for? Independence, yeah. What else? What is he opposed to? What kind of economic system of regulating trade? Mercantilism. He also is opposed to slavery, but the mercantilism one is a big part of it.
Is he the guy who did Pan-Americanism?
He is the guy that did Pan-Americanism. Yes, exactly. All right. Nationalism is cool. All right. Feminism and abolitionism. What intellectual movement might have motivated those?
Enlightenment.
The Enlightenment. Good job. Wow. You got an entire section of the AP down. All right. Cult of domesticity we did. All right. Enlightenment on abolitionism we did. Persistence of slavery we did. After slavery is abolished, what happens to people of African descent in the Americas? So, denial of civil rights. Yeah, so kind of that lower economic and social political position. All right. If you ever see a line of population going up, what do you think is the cause of the population going up? What event? To be fair, I didn't specify what time period or what region, but in the period 1750 to 1900 in Europe, it's the agricultural revolution, the second agricultural revolution. It's not, yeah, because the first agricultural revolution is like the invention of farming.
Oh.
Exactly.
Okay.
The application of machines in agriculture. Excellent. Good job. All right. Why were these improvements in farming a cause of the Industrial Revolution? What's the connection there? Machines. Yeah, they do that. Yeah. What does that mean, though?
Farmers went to the city.
Yeah. Sorry.
Or, yeah.
The farmers went to the cities. You need less people on farms. They're going to move to where there's jobs, and that's cities. Excellent. All right. Low wages happened. You experienced that today. All right. In terms of economic, like trade patterns, where is manufacturing shifting? Where are we seeing kind of shifts in manufacturing happen in the world?
Like at first it was majorly China and now it's Europe.
Yeah, so we see the shift from China and India to Europe. Anybody remember why specifically kind of that trade is transitioning? Why Europe is so good at manufacturing? Yeah.
China doesn't like any foreign influences.
There is that kind of thing, is a lack of innovation. We'll learn about that more in Unit 6, actually. Yeah.
You make more stuff for less money.
Europeans can make stuff cheaper and for less money, basically. They can make stuff quicker and for less money. Cheaper and less money apparently mean the same thing, yes. So because Europeans use mechanization, that means they can make things faster and cheaper. All right. Why do countries industrialize in general? What are some kind of reasons why Great Britain industrialized specifically? What does Great Britain have?
Natural resources.
That's true. Anything else?
The colonies.
It has kind of a large, extensive colonial empire. Excellent. What else might be a cause of the Industrial Revolution? We already mentioned it. Population go up.
Oh, we need more
What's that event called?
urbanization.
Agricultural Revolution, yes. So Agricultural Revolution, natural resources. All right. We'll get there in just a second. All right. Why were men and women and children working in factories?
Oh,
More labor.
low wages.
Low wages. Kind of families can't make enough with one individual working. You need everybody. You need the men. You need the women. You need the children, to quote Anakin Skywalker. All right. I don't know why I do what I do. All right. I'm. All right. So as the Industrial Revolution kicks off, what happens in cities? What are cities like in the Industrial Revolution?
Population increases.
Yeah, population does increase. That is true.
Creation of bad housing.
Yeah, so kind of there's poor living conditions in these urban centers. Excellent. All right. What's a social effect of the Industrial Revolution in terms of class? What are the new classes that pop up because of the Industrial
Proletarian,
Revolution?
middle class.
Yeah, proletarian and middle class.
Proletarian.
Anybody remember another name for proletariat that's a lot easier to spell? For the working class. Oh my God, I just gave it away. No. Another name for proletariat that's easier. They're in over there. All right. In the government.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mechanization. Anybody want me to define what that is again?
Yeah, wait, what were you saying about proletariat?
You didn't finish your.
Oh, I didn't finish it?
No.
Another name for them is the working class. That's just, that's I don't know where we got off with that. All right.
Should have just said that's a job.
It's your fault. In the gov room over there. I thought you weren't coming. Okay, whatever. First Industrial Revolution, Second Industrial Revolution. What's the difference between the two of these? What's characteristic of the First Industrial Revolution, Ashley?
First one is, the second one is like electricity. It's the first one is steam engines.
Yeah, so there's a difference in power. If you ever see electricity, that's Second Industrial Revolution. Good point. What kind of product was produced in the First Industrial Revolution? Yeah, that was the machine, but textiles, yes, cotton textiles, excellent. So any technology to do with textiles would be more associated with the First Industrial Revolution. Anybody remember any names of any machines related to textile production? Cotton gin is one, yeah. Spinning jenny is the one I should have put on here. Anybody remember the other one? What? That has to do specifically with textiles. So you make the yarn in the spinning jenny, then where you do that? No.
That was later.
No. No. Power loom, yes, power loom. Not the car, not the telephone, not the light bulb. All right. Social Darwinism, you feel strong on that? You feel like you're the strongest, the fittest, you could say?
Social Darwinism.
Feel like that.
Don't put the joke answer down.
Why should I actually do that?
No, I crossed it out too,
Oh.
so I can't do that. I think it's very obvious, but kind of socialism and communism, these ideologies emerge as reactions to generally poor working conditions.
Isn't that where the laissez-faire?
Yeah, it's kind of a reaction against laissez-faire thinking. That's a great point. Yeah, good job. All right, this one is a complicated one. I maybe want you to talk to somebody. What were the 3 reasons why governments in Europe and North America, why they decided to make some changes and help out the working class a little bit? Come up with 3 reasons for why they did that. Yeah. Why did governments do social changes? Why did they make protections for workers? There's like 3 reasons. All right. So, let's come up with some reasons. Why did governments in America and Europe, why did they decide to do reforms? What's one reason? So fear of socialist revolutions, yeah. So governments wanted to prevent socialist movements. Why else did governments decide to do some changes, Ashley? Yes. All men can vote, even property-less men. They're going to vote for things that protect their interests, basically. So every man can vote. Governments don't want socialism. Anything else? Any other reasons why? Some middle-class people are going to say, whoa, it's horrible that these people are living in like so crowded apartments. That's terrible for all these working conditions. So there is some sympathy by social reformers to solve problems.
What's
All right.
good?
That's the 3rd one.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Anyone need to know what a transnational business is? Do you know what a transnational? Oh, I see. Anybody want to define a transnational business? Yes. It's an international business. Yeah. It's just a specific term the AP uses. Yeah. That's a all of the above question answer. I didn't say that. What's a continuity in Latin America between colonial times and independence in terms of economics?
Oh, they still remain poor.
They still make what?
Remain poor.
Plantations.
Plantations, cash crops, yes. Cash crop production continues. All right. How does energy change from during the first industrial revolution? What does it change from to in the first industrial revolution? Yeah.
Energy. No? From the first revolution, right? Industrial
Cash crops
revolution.
to.
All right, talk to your neighbor. What is the change of energy in the first industrial revolution? What was used as fuel, then kind of.
Well, how can energy? You were coal workers. I was coal worker. You died? Yeah. I died
Alright.
twice from revolting.
I did 3 times and I had no idea.
All right. Shh. Yeah, Suja.
First industrial
I
revolution. The
Yeah.
first industrial revolution used coal and wood, and then the second industrial revolution used oil.
Exactly. We kind of see this transition of energy resources. Before the Industrial Revolution, people relied on things like animal power. They relied on wind. They relied on water. Then the Industrial Revolution happens. Now we're using coal during the first Industrial Revolution, coal and wood. Second Industrial Revolution pops around. We use oil. That's kind of the transition there. The use of fossil fuels is kind of the ultimate end of the Industrial Revolution. All right. If you ever got a picture of a bunch of kids working in a factory, in France specifically, that is going to be the best answer for that is that we see a rise of child labor laws. Yeah, kind of with images like that, kind of you connect it to what's the best answer, basically. Yes, sir, indeed. All right. Fossil fuels. Environmental impact of the Industrial Revolution. Anybody care to list any you can think of? Pollution.
And deforestation.
Deforestation. Anything else?
Action of soil.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So we do see kind of with these natural resources, cotton production especially, that's going to drain the natural resources of places. Great. All right. So kind of these are big ideas from throughout the unit. I just went over them in detail. But kind of if you want to ask me any questions about that, you certainly may. Kind of these are the things that will be tested on, basically. All right. Any questions about any concepts from Unit 5 that are important? Yes?
Why does the 1848 revolutions, why does that lead to an increase in the middle class?
So kind of we see that these revolutions led to the rise of constitutional monarchies. Kind of absolutist governments that formed after the French Revolution. They're basically going to say, how do we prevent a revolution? We make some changes. We adopt a constitution, but we keep our power, basically. So we see more constitutional monarchies. That kind of leads to governments that have more elections, for example. There's representation in parliament. That's why the middle class is rising in those places. Yeah. Any other questions? Anything else you want me to clarify? Yeah, Brian.
Why lack of industrialization in South America, Latin America?
That is a very good question. So, why is there a lack of industrialization down in South America? What are some reasons for that?
Yes, they rely on cash crop.
Cash crop production is a big one, yeah. Politically unstable. Gazak?
They're in debt to U.S. and European.
Exactly. They're in debt to U.S. or European companies. Great. Also, who owns the railroads? Who owns the mines? Who owns a lot of the plantations? America, yes. So, United States or Great Britain, for example. All right, any other questions? I saw your hand up.
I was going to ask, are there going to be questions about the Latin America independence?
You do have you have two primary sources, and one is addressing kind of concepts from the letter from Jamaica specifically. And that kind of question is about causes and who leads the revolution, basically. And then you have another one kind of about things that happen that lead to independence movements in general, kind of with the U.S., with Haiti, with Latin America. Maybe what idea might lead to countries wanting to become independent, their own nations, if you will. Yes, nationalism, yes. Yeah.
Is there anything on Benito Juarez?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing about Juarez. Anything else? Anything else you want to know that is not on there?
Why is slavery going after revolution?
So we see there's a reliance on cash crop production, things that require slave labor. Yeah. Anything? Sorry.
But the cotton gin help use that. It's just didn't connect it to
No. It doesn't really matter for this class, but you'll learn about it more next year, is that the cotton gin actually helped increase the demand for cotton. That helped increase slavery in places like the United States. All right. Any other questions? Yes.
The answer to 33A.
For what version?
A.
Wowie, it is the right answer. Shot in the dark. All right, don't ask any more questions like that. But any other questions?
So all these drugs are all You did say that.
Maybe.
Please let me get
All right. Any other questions? Shh. Any other things that you want me to clarify from this list right here? You're all good? All right. Well, I'll still be here if you have any questions, but we're done, basically.